US don't give Tinubu two options before they go divide the country. As it stands right now, Tinubu dey on a hot seat. As of last week, US bring out the case file of Tinubu, drug and criminal offense wey happen for US. And as of last month, they give Nnamdi Kanu honorarium and citizen of US. I wan make una understand where this is driving right now. Before I go play the full video so that you go understand everything, watch the video for yourself for better understanding. So, Israel and US, they discuss how they go make sure say they bring out the Christian wey dey for Nigeria and make sure say Biafra is being liberated, because Biafra have already been recognized, as in have already been declared. So it's for the recognition to be manifested worldwide. Now waiting dey right now. So I go wan make you pay attention. Listen to the sanction wey be say the US don give so many Nigerians. This video is coming presently right now. The sanction wey US don give all the whole so many Nigerians, so many politicians, to show say the division of the country don start. Many people go think say they never start. They don start as it stands right now. Starting from last year December, now when they start to dey talk about Nigeria matter. And if you look at the way they go, they take every single legal step to make sure say they do the right thing. And in no distant time, Biafra will be declared and everybody will just go in on separate ways. That's the agenda of the US and all the whole sanctioning and all the whole order will be said that they give to Tinubu. So I go allow una just watch this video from the start to the end. Share this video to everyone on every social media platform so that I go see what thing they go on to know say Biafra, time for Biafra has come. And drop your opinion at the comment section and write freedom for Mazin and the cow and freedom for the people of Biafra. So the time to go home don't start. And Trump is not joking with it. Even Israel don't put body. They know they even, when Israel puts hand for your matter, forget about it. No say it's a done deal. So for them to collaborate, no say Biafra don't come. I'm not going to just talk much. Share this video and don't forget to click the subscribe button for more updates. Write freedom for Mazin and the cow and freedom for the people of Biafra. Watch this video from the starting to the end. The ending side, so many things. Why ending side they more interesting is for you to watch it step by step so that you go understand everything. Don't forget to share this video. Thank you.
The US Congress has sanctioned Nigeria a very big one. Oh yes, this news is today. I'm going to show you the sanctions. They have come again. They have given Nigeria another big sanction. So please, I beg you to stay with me. Let's quickly run down to the news and see the sanctions. US Congress has sanctioned Nigeria. According to this news, it says, US Congress report labels Nigeria deadliest place for Christians, cites decades of persecution, killings. Of course, you see this news is published today, being the 24th day of February 2026. So the US Congress is saying that, come on, Nigeria is the deadliest place for Christians to live in the whole world. Now, let's go down to the sanctions. They sanction them and see what is happening. Please, you need to stay with me because you need to really know what is happening in Nigeria. Now, according to this news, it says, the United States Congress has called for whipping sanctions, security restriction, and diplomatic pressure on Nigeria in a new report aimed at ending the persecution of Christians in Nigeria, urging President Donald Trump to take decisive action against what is described as escalating violence against Christian communities. All right. The report, backed by the House Appropriation Committee and the House Foreign Affairs Committee, commended Trump for redesignating Nigeria as a country of particular concern, CPC, and called for tougher measures to hold perpetrators accountable. So they are, commending Trump to please, put pressure on Nigeria so that all those that are, perpetuating these criminalities and these, calamities in Nigeria will be held accountable. Now, let's go on. He went further to say, under its findings, the congressional document shared on X on Tuesday by House Foreign Affairs Committee majority stated that after decades of persecution, Nigeria is the deadliest place in the world to be a Christian, alleging that where armed Fulani militias and terrorist groups have carried out sustained attacks resulting in the death of tens of thousands of Christians, including pastors and priests, that armed Fulani groups have unalived tens of thousands of Christians, including pastors, priests, and anybody they see, they wipe them off. All right. The report further alleged that thousands of churches and schools have been destroyed, with kidnappings and blasphemy laws in the northern states used to silence speech and dissent, target Christians and minorities, and justify so-called convictions without due process. Of course, they are in power, they are everywhere, they are even in court, so they can make laws that can, justify their crime. So whenever they commit crime, you hear that, oh, a Fulani man was sent to court. Okay, he was given 5 years in jail, a Fulani man. All right? So he went further to say, it said President Trump's renewed CPC designation has created a once-in-a-generational opportunity for the real change to address this 2 decades-long crisis. Of course, they are thanking Donald Trump. Now, we are going to go straight to the sanctions they gave Nigeria, because this news is actually long, but I'm going to cut it so that we go straight to the point. So please, I beg you to stay with me so that you see the sanctions. All right. It also urged Nigerian authorities to enable the voluntary return of displaced communities by guaranteeing security and rebuilding infrastructure. All right. One of the terms they are giving Nigeria is that they must rebuild infrastructure and guarantee security for displaced communities so that those that want to return to their community can return back. The congressional document recommended invoking and publicly announcing CPC presidential directives to name and shame perpetrators of violence. Of course, they need to start naming and shaming those that are perpetuating this violence in Nigeria, because it's not all the time they will keep their name or a secret, and before you know it, they will set them free. So it went further to say, it further called for sanctions on groups and individuals who participate in or tolerate violence against Christians, continued visa restriction on perpetrators, and a review of whether certain Fulani militia groups should be classified as foreign terrorist organization. They don't say it final, because this time US wants to designate this Fulani as a terrorist organization. The thing that Nigerian government is running away from, it is coming now to them. All right. The report demanded the repair of Sharia codes and criminal anti-blasphemy laws, urging that such laws are used to suppress minorities and dissent. The word repair is to cancel. So the report demanded to cancel Sharia codes and the criminal anti-blasphemy laws. This one, e go pain them die. So the US is demanding that Sharia codes should be cancelled in Nigeria. Because according to them, they are using it to suppress minorities and dissent. All right, let's go further. It also proposed leveraging trade measures, including reviewing beef and cattle-related exports to countries such as Ivory Coast, Ghana, South Africa, and Senegal to pressure armed groups to disarm. They want to, Nigeria, this one, they want to stop the exportation of beef. You know what is beef now? And cattle-related export to countries such as Ivory Coast, Ghana, South Africa, and Senegal. All right, let's go further. It went further to say, the report also called for increased accountability before obligating additional US funds. A Government Accountability Office, GAO, audit on the effectiveness of US aid to Nigeria and closer monitoring of Nigeria's financial system to disrupt terrorist financing networks. Now, this one will harm them the most, because oftentimes they collect money from US, all in the name of US aid. Of course, we know when this US aid became a problem, that it was said that US aid, the money US is sending to Nigeria, is being sent to Boko Haram to buy weapons. So this time around, the US, the congressmen are saying that this money must be accounted for. There will be proper accountability for the money so that it doesn't go to Boko Haram again. It raised concern about Chinese illegal mining operations allegedly destabilizing communities through protection payments to armed groups. Now, do you know that as we are complaining of insecurity in Nigeria, that there are some Chinese in the northern Nigeria that are mining gold? And these Chinese, Boko Haram no dey disturb them. ISWAP no dey disturb them. All the terrorist organizations in Nigeria don't disturb them. In fact, according to the news I got, they have their, their houses there. These Chinese people. So US has also found out, and now US is saying that they must go and look at them because it is the money. These Chinese, according to this news now, that these Chinese are paying the armed groups so that they wouldn't disturb them to mine their gold. You see, Nigerians, who is asking about the money we get from gold in Nigeria? So we don't know we have a lot of gold in Nigeria in the north. So the Chinese are mining it, taking the money. Hey. Anyway, one further to say, the US Congress urged the administration to ensure adequate staffing of diplomatic posts in Nigeria and enlist international partners, including France, Hungary, and the United Kingdom, in confronting the crisis. All right? It framed the issue as not only a humanitarian emergency, but also a matter of US national security, warning that sectarian violence and terrorist expansion in Nigeria threaten broader regional stability and American interests. All right? The United States and Nigeria should take this moment to redefine a new strategic partnership to make America and Nigeria safer, stronger, and more prosperous, the report stated. So we have seen the sanctions that the US has given Nigeria. Now, I'm going to allow you to listen to the video some bishops in Nigeria are making about this Christian genocide happening in Nigeria. So after listening to it, you understand what we are talking about. Do well to drop your comment in the comment section what to think, all right? Please listen to them.
Who has a correct statistics of the number of churches that have been burnt down in this country? Who knows how many Christians have been killed in this country because they are Christians? Some right inside the church. Some will tell you these are criminals. They are not just targeting Christians. Take it easy. How many of those who perpetrate these crimes have been arrested and prosecuted? How many of them are in jail? How many of them have faced the death penalty? The Catholic Church is against the death penalty. I'm talking about Nigerian law. But we know that if anything happens to some of those who perpetrate this crime, either in self-defense or in resistance, the government stands up. There is outrage everywhere in all levels of government. This selective outrage of government, this selective outrage of the police, of the army, of the security agencies, when innocent citizens are massacred and when criminals are repelled and in the repelling they die, this selective outrage is like, it's not only that they have killed him, they have taken the body away. They want to wipe off every trace. And some Christians are being provoked legitimately to react. Anytime any of them reacts, they are said to be taking the laws into their hands. But all those who trample the law with their feet, trample upon the law, they kill, they rape, they maim, they sack farmers, they harvest crops of farmers and feed it to their cattle. And when you say no, why are you doing this? It is death. And when they do that, they record it and post it to government to see. If you ask them question, you are killed. If you chase them away and while running away they die, you'll be condemned to death. This, permit me to say, is pure, sheer provocation. A number of things Christians have suffered in this country can be compared to the crucifixion of the Lord. Do we talk about the takeover of all Christian schools, all mission schools by Nigerian government? They took over those schools, destroyed them, turned our educational institutions into houses of formation of criminals and mediocres. People who can't write simple letters, who can't speak any language correctly, who can't solve their own problems, and won't pass any exam without cheating. And that is like crucifying, because that is a house. The school is a house of formation of character.
52 children abducted from a Catholic school. Kilode. In a country like this? Where are we going? Zaplo popo paketa. Akoki pokakakaka. That there is no genocide. Are you mad? But are there killings? You say yes. Are there judicial killings? Then what's genocide? Sir, nobody owns this country. At all. We all own it together.
Yes, sir.
Majority of us have a larger portion of it than most of those people.
Yes, sir.
Where is their influence? Who have they ever helped?
People claiming that there is no genocide of Christians in the nation. Information with facts can never be thwarted. You see people buried in hundreds and you say there is no genocide. What a wicked set of people. Agree there are people killed in other places for other reasons, but this one is very clear. And gradually is eating down to the south, southwest, southeast, and many so-called leaders for their personal interests are claiming it's not true, selling out their faith if they have it at all. Jesus said, when I come, will I find the faith? And we are standing here to say to Jesus, the faith will keep standing. I like us to pray for our brethren in Plateau State, in Benue State, that the Lord will keep them in the faith. Raise your voice in a few seconds. Father, strengthen the brethren in the Middle Belt, in the Northeast. We fight against every force against the faith. The faith of Jesus shall not be abolished.
Concerns that what you're doing is fueling a narrative which is not supposed to be. A narrative of religious genocide.
Yeah. I guess the question I would ask is, if there's no genocide, if there's no religion involved, what is the reasoning? You know, I've been told it's grazing. They're just looking for grass for their cows. And I would ask the question, if it's only for grass, then this means that their own Fulani brothers, who are also herding cattle and looking for grass, they're also their competitors. And so why are they only killing Christians? Why are they only targeting Christian villages? They're not killing their own people. They're not burning their own Fulani settlements, but they're competitors. The same grass they're fighting for. And so what's the answer to this? Why are they only killing the Christians in the Christian villages?
Have you been to the camp of the dispersed people?
Yes, I have.
And what did you see?
Yeah, I was in international market where a lot of the Yowata people have been displaced to. And from the testimonies from the people, they have little food, little water. I saw them publicly defecating, pooping, and peeing there in the street among the little shops and the little stores. I was in Guer West, the heart of displacement. 90% of people in Guer West have been abandoning their homes, displaced. And many of them are living in Agagbe, in little grass huts. They said that they receive food maybe every 3 or 4 months from the government. They have nothing. They've been forced off of their lands and nobody is fighting back. They've accepted this to be displaced.
Mm. Is your humanitarian service targeted at only Christians? Because that's what a lot of people.
Yeah. You know, the heart of why I'm here is Christ. It is because I am a Christian. I'm a follower of Christ. I've been called to make disciples of all nations, to share the gospel to every tribe, every tongue, every nation. But where we build, the people we help many Muslims. In fact, we built a school in Kano. We built churches. We're building schools in Bauchi. We're building ongoing in Kebbi. We have plans in Taraba, Adamawa. We have plans everywhere. And so we literally built a school for primarily Muslim people in Kano, in the rural area. And these Muslims are benefiting because there was no education. There was an Islamic school to teach Islam, but no school to teach people how to read, how to write, how to do math. They weren't caring for them. And so we went in to be able to care for those people, Muslims, Fulani.
In an Islamic school, to teach them, because you felt that they were not learning how to read and write?
No, there was no active school in that area.
Okay.
No school at all. We built the first school.
You were part of, or you attended the funeral ceremonies of the slain community. So
Yes.
tell us what you saw.
Yeah, you know, I was actually on my way traveling to Benue to be able to continue the rebuilding of Yawara village. And I received a notice that there was a killing. The 7 Christians were killed in Kuru on the way that we were leaving. And I said, I have to go. We have to be alongside the people who are suffering and are afflicted. And when I pulled into Kuru, we went to the mortuary. They hadn't begun the funeral, nothing yet. And the DPO refused me to access the mortuary. He said there is nothing to report, that there was not an attack.
Who refused you to access?
The DPO, the local DPO of Kuru. He refused our entry. He said there wasn't an attack, that there was a mining accident. And he said there's nothing to report here, so we were held up. And so we talked to Ezekiel Dacomo. He was already on his way. We already were talking with him. And we talked to the local leaders, the youth leader, everybody. They came to my rescue. They said, no, he's entering. And so I went in. And what did I see? Bullet wounds. Blood was still literally being pulled out. It was splattering. The bullet holes in his head, in his stomach, blood was coming out. I have videos of this. If you want videos, I have videos. I have pictures. The proof that there was an attack. They were not just an accident. It didn't collapse. They were murdered in cold blood by Fulani.
You're very definite when you use the word that they were murdered.
Yes.
Is it because of the bullets you saw, the type of injuries you saw on the bodies? That's what's giving you this evidence that they are murdered? Or you have eyewitness reports?
This is what they reported. There was no accident. What do bullet holes generally tell? Who killed them? Because they don't have the AK-47s. They didn't shoot themselves. 7 of them.
Tell us about Reverend Ezekiel Dacomo.
Yeah, I think he's an incredible man. You know, he's been the most prominent voice for the afflicted, for the persecuted, the Christians who are being killed. And he's even been speaking about the Muslims who also have been killed in Zamfara, Katsina, in Borno, and Yobe. You know, there was a mosque that was blown up by ISWAP. And so both of us together, we don't deny that Muslims are being killed. They are being killed. But the point that we want to make is that disproportionately Christians are being targeted and murdered specifically across the Middle Belt. In Kaduna, in Plateau, in Bauchi, in Niger, Adamawa, Taraba. And so we both are bringing light to this issue, and that's what we need to tend to.
Alex, before we let you go, one word you would have for the government and for the people, what would that be?
It's a tough question. You know, the government is responsible for its people. And for 2 decades, they've allowed their own to be slaughtered, including Muslims. Killed, burned, slaughtered like sheep, burned like charcoal. I've seen the bodies, even little babies that are just lumps of charcoal sitting on the floor. I've seen bones in the rubble. I've held the bones. They are allowing this for 2 decades. And so the Nigerian government needs to be accountable. They need to tell the truth. And they need to protect their own people. That's what we're calling for. I can't control the government. I'm not a politician. I don't deal with politics. I'm a missionary. I tell of Christ. I speak of Christ. I share the gospel. I teach that it is Christ who saves, that he is the way, the truth, and the life. And if I'm to be a Christian, that means I'm to tell the truth. If I'm to be a Christian, I am to hold people accountable. If I'm to be a Christian, I am to speak for justice, to speak for the ones who don't have a voice. And so the Nigerian government needs to be accountable. They need to protect their people.
Thank you so much. We've been speaking with Alexander Barbier, who's a missionary who's been in Benue State and building, or rather rebuilding and helping to the people of Yelwata to return to their homes after they had been displaced. Well, thank you once again.
Thank you so much. Pleasure.
Sure, now don't hear everything. What I think, drop your opinion at the comment section. What do you think right now? What is the best option for Biafra and what is the best option for Tinubu right now? Drop your opinion at the comment section. Don't forget to click the subscribe button for more updates. If this place don't tire una, just come and talk and say it don't tire una, so that everybody will know say hey, true. So many people still shake. So many people still believe say Nigeria go still dey okay and things go still better. But the truth of it is that if you look at the body language of every people they contest for election, you go see say they never even dey serious to change this country. So it's better make they just split and make everybody jejely day on in own. So I'm not gonna talk much. Share this video. Don't forget to click the subscribe button for more updates. Thank you.